welcome or welcome back to my cross stitching channel. Today is Saturday, August 2nd, I think. And I'm here for a regular cross stitching update. It's been about 5 weeks. My last video was just before the end of the month of June. So it's been a little bit more than a month, but that's all right. I'm back. So thank you so much for everybody who watched my WIP parade and subscribed to my channel. I got a lot more subscribers than last I checked on it. So thank you so much for subscribing and following along. I really appreciate that. So I hope that it doesn't bother people that basically every time I come back it's a WIP parade, because I only have 9 WIPs right now and I'm trying not to start anything, so I've just been really focusing on what I have going already. So I hope that doesn't bother anybody, but it's gonna be another WIP parade today. So I mean, I only have 9 WIPs and I'm usually gone for upwards of a month or a little bit more or a lot more at a time, so that's just kind of how it shakes out. So hopefully that is all right with all of you. So I have my WIPs to share. I don't have any like acquisitions or anything. Really quick though, I had a question for people who watch my channel. Would any of you be interested in looking at, or like for me doing somewhat more of like just a plans only video for like next year or whatever, as far as like the patterns I'm looking at starting and that kind of thing, or like seeing what's in my stash that I have, like patterns that I have waiting for me. I'm just curious if anybody would be interested in watching that. If not, then I won't worry about it, but I was just thinking of that the other day. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see any of that, but otherwise I'm gonna jump into my WIPs now. So first up, as always, is Tarot Town 2, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and the artist is Ciro Marchetti. And so I'm gonna go over the first 2 of the projects that I normally show, Tarot Town 2 and Beloved. I'm gonna go over that for just a second because I've decided to do something that's gonna alter the patterns quite a bit. So for Tarot Town 2, it's quite a large pattern. It's over 350,000 stitches. I was only, let's see, I've been in the range of about 160,000 stitches done, so I had basically about another 200,000 stitches left, and I had just been feeling like super bogged down with this pattern. Like I felt very like unmotivated to work on it. I was getting kind of frustrated. I was like, I don't think I could finish this for a minimum of like another 4 years if I actually like focused on it. If I did it to the exclusion of everything else, I could probably have it done in 2 to 3, but still, like, I don't want to just not stitch on anything else, because that's the quickest way for me to get burnt out. So what I decided to do is to crop this pattern, and I am sorry if that makes any of you sad. I do think that the whole chart, there's a lot of good parts to it, and I don't love the thought of cropping it down all the way. Like I like parts of it, but I don't love that I'll be losing part of the picture. But for me, I need to like have smaller, like I do large projects, don't get me wrong. Most of my stuff, it's very large projects. But I need some of them to be a little bit smaller. I need to be able to get them done a little bit quicker for me to continue to be motivated to work on them. So I've cropped this pattern down, and I will show you first what the cropped picture looks like, as long as I can get my Kindle to cooperate with me. So, sorry, there's a glare. So I have cropped it just under where the castle ends. So you're not gonna see any of the island that it's on, and the sky and the ground, and then there's like a flying ship and a couple of smaller hot air balloons. Hopefully you can see that okay. But I've cropped it down to line, I think 428. This is probably a better representation of what'll be missing from the bottom. So if you can see there, the blank space is what I would have left now, and everything underneath that, those about three rows, three rows, totals to about 3 pages on each 3-page high rows. I'm just gonna stop trying to say that because I keep confusing myself. 3 rows of pages essentially will be knocked off the bottom, and it's like I said, it's landscape, that ship, the rest of the island. I'm also like, when I look at the bottom by it in isolation, it just looks kind of boring to stitch. Like there's not a lot of fun colors. I don't know. This is just the decision I've made. So I say all that so that my jump for how much has been done in the project doesn't actually make sense to you. So I'm currently sitting with all of that extra stuff that I'm not stitching marked off. I'm sitting at 83.22% done now. And I added 3,190 stitches in the last 5 weeks. And I am stitching mine on 25 count DMC Magic Guide 1/1 full cross. So this is where we're at from last time. Sorry about the large preamble there. So hopefully you can see there's a pretty large difference there. I got about half this page in since last time. So I hope there aren't too many disappointed people that I'm gonna be cropping this. But I need to enjoy my hobbies. And it just wasn't as fun as it used to be. And I like the thought of kind of cutting it off right where the fun part ends. I probably shot myself in the foot by starting at the top on this chart instead of at the bottom, or going top to bottom, instead of in rows. So regardless, that's the decision I've made. So yeah, now I'm over 80% done since I cut a bunch of that out. And I think I'm down to about just over 60,000 stitches left to go. And that is much more doable. I can definitely get that done within a year and a half, probably. And that's even not focusing wholly on it. So, but as you can see, did a lot more here, added in a lot more of these, this wall, the arches there, finished off this basket. That was a lot of fun. I like the colors in there. And then just brought a ton of this light yellow. Gosh, is it hard to see that? Some of these colors are so light. So added just over 3,000 stitches in the last 5 weeks, which is pretty good. And that is Tarot Town 2. As I knock over my table. Okay, so WIP number 2, again, I have a little bit of an explanation here to let you know why the numbers jumped. I'm also cropping Beloved, which again is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and the artist is Adele Sessler. And I'm not cutting quite as much off of this one. I think this time, let's see, about 60,000 stitches off of this one. So it's not going to change the picture a ton. Anything that I felt was kind of superfluous, I just cut the edges off because I want to stitch this one, but I don't want it to take forever. So you can see the blank spaces around the bottom and the side. I cut off about a page at the bottom and then about half a page across the side. So that'll be the end picture of this crop. So it doesn't look that much different, especially considering I haven't done nearly as much progress on this one. But so that'll be the end. And I'm stitching mine on a 28 count white Lugana 1/1 full cross. And I did not get very many stitches on this one because I was really battling myself whether I wanted to keep stitching on it or maybe adopt it to somebody else to finish, or just UFO it all together and come back to it sometime in the future. So I only did 575 stitches. This is where we're at from last time. you will not see much of a difference here. Pretty much, I think all I did was just black. Came back up here, and I decided to turn off the page breaks in this one and just kind of take the colors where they go, because especially in like the hair, like it just kind of flows, and so I just follow it wherever it goes. So not too much progress on this one this time around. But I think now that I've made, I don't know if anybody else experiences this when you're like in the middle of the dilemma and trying to make a decision. It's just harder to, I don't know, move forward with it. So now that I've kind of made the decision, I think it'll be easier to work on it because I know what the goal is now. So, but this one is now at 37.49% done. So almost 40% now with that extra, with those edges added or taken off. So I hope neither one of those crops makes anybody too sad, or maybe nobody cares. I don't know. But I feel better about that now that I've just made those decisions. So that is what they will look like from here on out. The end result anyway. All right. Okay, so that was the first two. Third up is Loyalty, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Artist is Cherie Gerhardt, and mine is the mini version. And let's see, I'm stitching mine on a, again, 28 count white Lugana 1/1 full cross, and I'm at 42.34% complete, and I added 1,890 stitches. So this is where we were at from last time. Trying to block that so the light doesn't come through. Come on now. So I'm just going to show, there's more obviously that way, but I'm just going to show this side for comparison, because all I have been working on are these stripes here on the edge. So from what I can remember, and you guys will be able to see, finished this black one, this yellow one, this black one, and then I was coming in to fill in the next two stripes down. And I believe the halfway where it ends to the other pattern, like this at the bottom, it's pretty close. It's like maybe that much further down. Got a little burnt out on those black blocks though. So making good progress though. My goal, tentatively, because school has been forgiving this block, but I am not sure it will be starting in the fall. So right now my tentative goal is to get to 50% by the end of the year, which I think is about another 7,000-ish stitches total to the end of the year, which I think I can pull off if I focus on it a little bit more. And again, if school doesn't derail everything, which it definitely could. So I got decent progress on that, almost 2,000 stitches this time around. So I really like how this one's turning out. The more I get in, the more excited I get to finish it. So alrighty, number 4 is Winter Sampler. And this is a Kooler Design Studio chart. And I believe this artist is Sandy Orton. And I am stitching mine on a 32 count, every time, Ivory Lugana 2/2 full cross. And then there's back stitching and all that jazz. I am now at 76.65%, so I am officially 3/4 of the way done with the regular stitching. Obviously that doesn't include any of the other stuff that needs to come after. But I added 1,074 stitches. I'm gonna try to do a top and bottom comparison here. Hopefully that works. Because I finished the bottom last time I showed it. The bottom was complete. So I came back up to the top and I've been working up there. I was gonna try to focus on this as for like Christmas and July stitching. And I did for a little while, and then I got really burnt out with it and I just didn't want to work on it anymore. So I only got 1,000, just over 1,000 stitches, which is still good. Obviously that's good, but it just wasn't as much as I thought might happen. So I'll bring it in a little bit here, show you what I did. So first off, I finished this ice skate, which I thought turned out really nice. Really love the shading in there. I think I had the flowers and some of the leaves, but then I came in with like the trim and the whole boot and the blade at the bottom. I can't remember if I had the white in these. I don't know. I'm tempted to say I didn't, or I did have the white in these snowflakes already in there, but it's possible I added those as well. It's hard to tell from the comparison picture because the white and the fabric color are so close together. I do think I did the white in these ones though. I think these were done. I came over and put these two and then part of this one. I haven't quite finished the white in that one yet. And I did some of the green around, so there's gonna be leaves and holly berries around the top there. It's kind of a pain. I think that's why I got burnt out, because there was so much like counting and moving around. But that middle bit is all I have left to do. So it's looking good. I think when the weather cools down and we get back around to like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, I think I want to work on it some more. Obviously, if I want to finish it this year, I need to keep working on it even before then, but we'll see what happens. So, all right. So next up is the Crowned Heart, which is a modern folk embroidery pattern. And mine is stitched on what I believe is a 16 count. Picture this plus Ada in the color Woodland, I believe. And I'm using DMC color 564. And that's 2/1 full cross. All right, so mine is sitting at 34.73% complete, and I added 1,027 stitches. So, sorry, this fabric is a little unruly. So I'm gonna pull it back just a hair so I can do the comparison. Let's do it to the top. So, as you can hopefully tell, I have added my name at the top. And then after I finished that, I believe I came over to this side and just started taking this side down. So it's decent progress. Got over 1,000 stitches in the last 5 weeks. So I was happy to report that my math worked out and the name is even to the top line. And I'm hoping that the more I get in, the more the middle picture seems centered. I had an issue where this date didn't center exactly, but I think the more I get in, the better it looks. So got my name in. Was it that side? Yeah. Yeah, and then I came back in to the side and I've just kind of been doing whichever side has, like, I'll work on one side for a while and then my plan is to like just keep going back and forth with what's in my key snap. I'll work it down and then I'll come back to the other side and just keep going like that on the border till I get it done, because this is a very, very repetitive border. It looks incredible, but it's very repetitive. So love the way that's looking. I love the color of that fabric. It's so much fun to work on this one. All right. Next up is Legend of Zelda, which is an Etsy pattern. And mine is stitched on 28 count easy count fabric, 1/1 full crosses. And mine is now sitting at 5.66% done. Didn't get too much done on this one, but I don't pull it out very often. I got 844 stitches. So hold it back just a little. Sorry, I'm trying to like keep the light from that work. Okay, so this is where we're at from last time. Let's pull that down a little bit. Not too much change here, but hopefully you can see I brought down more of the black around the circle, filled in a couple of rows of black up here, brought the black in right here, trying to outline more of these background pieces. And this came all the way down, and I believe this is the start of Zelda's head. So that's cool. I'd like to start working on the people a little bit more. And it's kind of hard to see, but I also did start filling in some of the colors here in these triangles. But boy howdy, is there a lot of confetti in there, so got burned out with that pretty quick. So mostly focused on putting in the black here, here, and up here. So I believe that's all I did. I don't think I worked on anything over on this side. I think this was it. I've been kind of thinking that it would be nice to just kind of like leave the Q-snap on one side of it and just kind of fill everything in so I don't get bogged down with confetti at the end. So we'll see if it keeps going that way, but still enjoying this one. I love it every time I pick it up. So that is Legend of Zelda. Try and keep this somewhat organized. Okay. All right. So next up is Twisted Rainbow Sampler, which is a pattern. Sorry, if you see me looking down, I have notes. So this one is a Northern Expressions needlework pattern. And mine is stitched on a 32 count black Lugana 2/2 full crosses for the cross stitches, and then there are specialty stitch bands in this one. And something I usually don't remember to mention is that I'm using the DMC conversion. I didn't use, I think it's Dinky Dyes is what it first called for, but I'm using the DMC conversion. So I am now at 41.78% complete, and I added 1,809 stitches. So this was definitely one that got a little bit more love this time around. And I have completed 7 of the 17 bands. So I'm super excited about that. So my goal is to finish this one next year. There's no way, unless I did absolutely nothing else, that I'm getting this done this year. But when the bands get longer, it does feel a little more tedious. So it's nice to kind of just do a band and then put it down and then come back and then put it down. So definitely got some decent progress, over 1,800 stitches. And so it says I'm 41.78%. That's pretty close. If you divide 7 by 17, that's pretty close. Because obviously, well, maybe not obvious to everyone, in Pattern Keeper, it doesn't calculate anything for specialty stitches. It's just going off the cross stitching. So, but percentages work out pretty close. So that is my Twisted Rainbow Sampler, Specialty Stitch Edition. I love the gradient of these colors. It was nice to get some more greens in there. That is my favorite color. All right. Okay. Next project up is Lady of the Mist. And this is a Mirabilia pattern by Nora Corbett. And mine is stitched on a 32 count Lugana in the color Sprite from Picture This Plus. 2/2 full crosses. And there, I like even debated with myself of even showing this one this time around. I guess I could have just left it out. But here's my progress from last time. It will be virtually nothing. I think I made a couple of passes around here to start filling in some of those colors around the flowers. And that was it. I really did not do very much on this one. I actually had it, like, it's been set up in my Q-snap. I have like all of my stuff set up by my stitchy spot, and it just never came back out again. So not sure why I don't know why I have a little bit of a hard time working on this one, because I've done another Mirabilia and I loved it. I found it very fun to work on, and I actually finished it quite quickly. I think within maybe 6 months I had it done, and I think I started this one like beginning of last year, I think sometime around the beginning of last year, and this is all I have done, plus a little of like the greenery around the side, but it's a little slow going this time around. I'm not sure what my issue is, because I love the picture. I think it's beautiful, and I love how like the more details I get in, the more I love it. So I think maybe it's kind of like sometimes I just have projects where I have to kind of push myself to a certain point, and then it becomes like more motivating to pick it up after that. I'm not sure why that happens to me sometimes. Hopefully I'm not the only one. So yeah, just I think maybe 100 to 200 stitches, if that, around the edge there. That's it. So not too exciting this time around. And just for the record, I do not count stitches on paper patterns, which that is one. So I don't know how much I actually put in or what percentage I'm at or anything. So all right, last but definitely not least is One Ring to Rule Them All, which is a pattern on Etsy from Teajeigh Designs, I believe. Sorry, this fabric is like enormous. So I'm trying to hold it without. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is sitting at, or mine is stitched. I keep forgetting that part. Stitched on 18 count Ada from Be Stitch Me in the color Phoenix, and mine 2/1 full cross with so DMC 310, but it's the Etoile version. So I think it's like C310, E310, something like that. And I am now at 31.14% done, and I added 1,551 stitches. So another one that got quite a bit of work. So this is, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think this should be okay. This, because it's getting so large. This is the progress from last time. Definitely got a lot more of the wording in there. I think the last time you saw it, I was somewhere around this letter. So I finished off the rest of that line, came into the rest of this line, and I started the next one. I don't believe I did anything up here in the corners. I'm trying to, I think my goal is to kind of finish like the top half of the words and then finish these and bring down the border and then finish the bottom. So I don't have to just do a bunch of border stuff or a bunch of letters at the end. So I did get quite a bit of progress on this one. And I really, really enjoy working on it. It's like just, so my husband gets up really early in the morning and light really bothers him while he's sleeping. So my stitching spot, if I have the light I usually use, it bothers him. So I have to use like a lamp. But a lot of my darker fabrics are really hard to see when I switch to that other light, which seems counterintuitive, but that's what happens. So this one where it's on a light-ish fabric and it's bigger stitches and it's just one color, it's a pleasure to work on it. So I'm kind of wondering if I get close, if you could see the sparkle. It is so hard to show sparkle on a camera, but it is sparkly. So that is where we at on this one. I absolutely love it. Can't wait to get this one done. Okay. Oh, Flosstube itchy nose, sorry. All right, so that was it for my WIPs again. Like I said, I rotate through things so quickly that I tend to work on everything. So maybe I should try focusing more on just like maybe 5 projects at a time or something. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so my total for the last 5 weeks was 11,960 stitches, which is pretty darn good. So happy with that. I wonder, let's see, on my last video, I was up to 52,000 for the year, so I had another 11, so we're up over 60, so that's pretty good. So, and this also doesn't include any paper patterns or specialty stitches, back stitching, anything like that. I don't worry about counting any of that. So those are my WIPs. So hopefully that was fun for you guys to check in and see where I'm at now. If that was all you were here to see, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will hopefully keep coming back every month. I think I should be able to at least do the month thing again at September, because that'll be just after the end of this block. And I won't have really like gotten too far into the next semester yet. So I'm hoping that at least I can do one more monthly, and then I might not come back till like November. So we'll see. But anyway, those are my WIPs. And I'm trying to think, there's really not been a whole lot going on here other than I work and I go to school, which, like I said, has been a little bit on the easier side this block. I only have one class right now, which has been wonderful. I still don't love, I don't love the class I'm in. It's a little bit on the boring side to me, but it's part of my degree, so I got to get it done. So I'm just excited that we're halfway done with the block now. So on the downhill slide to being done with that, and then I'll have one more semester and I'm done. So school's been pretty easy, just been working, husband's been working, dogs are good. We did get our older dog Tank groomed. I'll put in a picture because I think he looks so cute. He's got this cute little strawberry bandana around his neck. He looks so handsome. So I'll put in a picture of him. But both our dogs are doing well, and my daughter's doing well. She's just been working this summer and hanging out with her friends and stuff. She will be starting her senior year on August 13th, which is crazy. But we got her schedule all set up. We just need to do some shopping in the next couple, I guess, yeah, like week and a half. Need to do a little bit of shopping for some things, but other than that, she's ready to go. So it's crazy that I'm gonna have a graduating child next year. So still trying to come to terms with that. But I am excited to see how she does in senior year. She's doing some extra stuff, a technical training program for dental assisting too. So it should be cool. But anyway, yeah, everything's pretty much same old, just hoping to get some more stitching done while I've got a little bit less of a school load for the next couple weeks. So I will hopefully be back at the beginning of September. Not quite sure where the first falls there, but let's see if my 23rd plus 7. Yeah, so I might end up doing my next video if I can make it work, like the last week of August, the last weekend of August. I think I should be able to do that. So we'll hopefully come back then. And I do have a birthday in 3 weeks, so you might see a new start next time. So that might be exciting too. I really struggle when I can only start one, or like when I'm feeling like I should only start one thing, because I could start a lot more things, but when I feel like I just want one start for my birthday, I've got so many cool things that it's hard for me to pick. So we'll see. I'm leaning towards a long dog sampler. I might pick something smaller so I have a better travel project. Lots of ideas running through my head right now. So yeah, I will see you guys in about 4 more weeks, and I hope you have a wonderful August. Talk to you later.